Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Give me a second here. Let me go get materials. Yeah, my face was looking a little dry there. Okay. So, yesterday's message, I didn't even deliver it fully the way that I was supposed to. Because yesterday morning, before I even got any messages, I said to God, I was like, listen, I'm going to water it down. I don't want to make it too crazy. And I said that because maybe instinctively I felt like something is in the air because I felt the mood change. And I gave the message as peacefully as I could. As peacefully as I could. Even at the end of the message, I said, please, let's just let everything go. Because I know that you guys are barking up the wrong tree. You guys are bothering the wrong energies. You guys are disturbing the wrong situation. And I went to bed peacefully and I said, I'm going to leave it up to God to handle it from here. I just have to give a message. When you work with and for God, your role is all encompassing. You might have a main role, and your main role is one thing or the other. Like your main role might be a tarot reader, but God will put you in any position where you are needed, where they need someone and you're the only one in proximity. So you guys are going to see that there are other parts that I have to show you. I went to bed last night, and first of all, so before I start, the new person that's been coming around, the young guy, I know you guys work together. I know now. I wasn't sure, I know now. So you don't need to pretend like I got your message. I got why you guys are nervous. I get it. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Okay? So let me start with the passage. Matthew chapter 22, verses 1 to 13. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son. And he sent forth his servants to call them out that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. And they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant means the leftover, or those who are left over. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. And when the king heard thereof, he was wroth. He had wrath, anger, rage. And he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all, as many as they found, both good and bad. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22, 1 to 13. This is the passage of the day. Yesterday was supposed to be the end of a conflict. Let me say this again, because I said this at one time before. Sometimes God comes to you and you might have a year to play games with yourself and decide. You might have 6 months. Some people have a week. Some people have 4 hours, and some people it's like now. You got to decide right now. We don't know what our time span is with God. So when God says something, you have to, especially when you've been playing games and you've been trying God's patience and you've been blatantly disrespecting where God has been trying to get your attention and show you things. Every time you do things like that, you shorten your time. We have been on this roller coaster for a little over 2 years. We're going into our 3rd year. And I said to you guys, when my mother is here, you guys have been playing around. It was it was serious enough. But now that my father is here, there is no more time. There is no more patience. He doesn't play like she plays. He does not play any of the games, and she doesn't play either. But it's different when he shows up, because he is a God of war. Do you read the Bible? I know you guys read the Bible. When he shows up for a specific purpose. Now, yesterday's message, I'm looking at yesterday's message. This was this was the message that I was given after last night's message. This was the message I was given, but I read this. This is yesterday's news. This is not appropriate for today. It says, we come in peace, but we are prepared for war. That was yesterday's news. That's no longer valid. This is null and void. So somebody did something either last night or this morning. Somebody touched something. So the message of today is we are at war now. Because yesterday I made it clear. Okay, stop touching things. Stop touching things. They're serious. They're not. I know it's been a lot of like, okay, you get away with it. You do one thing, you get away with it. You do one thing, you get away with it, and we keep trying our luck. Last night, it was clear. Do I have it with me? Last night, it was clear. Don't touch anything. No more. Don't show up to work, I said. Remove your hands from the situation, I said. Don't even touch the computer, I said. Don't come back in here, I said. Huh? Don't touch. I'm going to skip around because a few things need to be said that really need to be said. You guys need to understand some things. First of all, so the new person that has come here, I know that you work with John. Okay, I know that you work with John, so you don't have to. I know you're trying to make it seem like you're a new hire or like a new guy or whatever, because that's what I thought. Originally, that's what I thought. I thought, who is this new energy that's doing this thing? Listen, I'm going to tell you clear as day, because I don't want to mince words anymore, because you guys are not listening. You are not John. You are not even, you seem like you just woke up yourself, like you just started learning. Take your journey and learn. Don't go into things that are bigger than you. I don't care what they told you. Gotta put it down now. I know you love that dog. Put it down. Remove your hands. Stay at home and don't do anything. Put it away. You don't need to prove to me or to anybody. Everybody wakes up at their correct time. Everybody gets their gifts at their correct time. Don't block your life. You're young. Don't block your life over this. This doesn't even have money in it for you. Leave it alone. I get the point that you're nervous. Everybody's nervous. I get it. I get it. You guys are nervous because you're like, they know where I live. They know my friends. They know where I move. I get it. They're going to do something to me. I get it. But you know how to lie, right? You guys lie all the time. Now's the time to lie. Why do you want to be a truth teller now? Just say you did your job. But your hands, your actual hands, don't put your hands in this anymore. Take my word for it. Leave it alone. Because now God is here. Okay? He comes only. He doesn't come to negotiate. No one can hold him back. No one can tell him what to do. He is having issues sitting still. Okay? In the spirit. Patience. It's done. No more. It's done. Don't put your hands in it. Do you know why I didn't go online today? I don't want to be disappointed in you guys. So I said, let me come and talk to you guys first, and then I'm going to go online. Because if I go online and I see any stupidness, I just don't. Do you understand that we don't want to go there? But we will. If you are not sure that I'm going to go there, ask your friend, your uncle, your father, whoever John is to you, ask him if I will. I will go there. I will go there and I will stay there. We will stay in whatever is started. By the time these energies get here, do you know what it means when they say we come in peace but we're prepared for war? We come in peace but we're prepared for war means we're looking for a reason because we've already loaded up everything. If you can visualize it in your head, the tanks are already at people's door and it's pointed in the direction. Everything is ready. They just need a reason to push the button. That's what it means. It means all hands are on deck spiritually. It's already ready. They don't care. Spirits don't care about nada. Whatever you guys talk about, whatever, spirits don't hesitate. You say a prayer, demons fly up, angels fly down, the prayer's not even done yet. Let me explain something to you. When I was going through my ascension, it was time for me to carry spirit, and spirit kept saying 2 hours straight in my head. And I got the indication. I'm like, wait a minute, she's trying to tell me something. And then I decided, hell, why not? Let's go. The words didn't come out of my mouth completely. Snatched me right up. Because they're waiting. They knew what they came for. They've been turning the situation, manipulating it, moving it around so much, and they just need those words. It's the last bit they need. And as soon as they get those words, you're barely finished the last word of the sentence and already they're there. They're there. They don't want to give you time to hesitate out of it. By the time they make somebody come and say, we come in peace, we're prepared for war. Think about it. We come in peace, but we're prepared for war. You might as well take out the come in peace part. Because when somebody tells you they're prepared for war, they're saying we're going to fight you. You guys want to fight gods? Do Do you know what it feels like fighting God? Fighting God is like, there's no one energy that you're fighting. There's no one thing that you're fighting. Fighting God means everything. Everything is fighting you. Life starts fighting you. Life starts fighting you. God says, okay, the portals that you open in people's lives, we're going to put you in it. It's your turn to live here. You're going to see what it's like. You know, on my Instagram, they don't want to let me get one like. They don't care if it's like 12 likes is low, 8 likes is low, 5. They don't want me to get one like. They don't want me to change the caption. That's how my Father is going to treat you. He doesn't want you to have $1, not 50 cents, not a penny. No, it's done. It's done now. It's done. It's complete. It's complete. When God gives this kind of saying, we are prepared for war, it means we are prepared for war. When somebody comes and tells you we come in peace but we're prepared for war, they really just said, I'm prepared to fight you. Don't just take out the come in peace part. You gotta really listen when people talk. We come in peace but we're prepared for war means that we want to look you in the face when we do it. We want there to be no questions, nothing underhanded, no hiding. God doesn't want you to question where this is coming from. God doesn't want you to think it's bad luck. God says, I'm coming to you directly to put this away. Let my people go and let people do what they need to do. All night they've been saying to, not all night. I went to bed last night. They were happy. They were pleased. I woke up this morning and they started early. They started early. I woke up this morning and the thing in my head is, how long can they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Because y'all want to kill the prophet. What are you going to kill the prophet for? Well, what is your reason? He didn't do a job? He did a job. He did more than a job. He did too much. He did more than he was supposed to. He's been pushed too far. He is supposed to be here. He's supposed to be here. Because do you know how many opportunities there were for him to pass away? Do you know how much opportunity there has been for him to pass away and he hasn't? That's because death will not collect his bones. He's supposed to be here. So you cannot kill the prophet. You will not kill the prophet. So now, where we stand, God stands between you and everything else. My Father says, if you think you're a God, then you should fight a God. Don't fight people. Don't fight men. Fight a God. Fight him directly. So, I'm not even delivering it like the way that it was given to me because I think my words are clear. You guys did something. I think you did it this morning. And you made it very clear to God what your position is by what you did. And I think the person that you sent, she's scared. She is scared. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it. People come in here, they're shaking. She didn't want to do it. So anyway, you sent this person. Her energy feels like she didn't really want to do it, but she had to do it. But she's still going to pay for it, for doing what she did, because the energy is clear. You see, if you don't make people pay for doing things, even though you feel sorry for them, even though you know they have no choice, if you don't make them pay for doing things, they're going to keep doing things and say, I have no choice. She should not have done it, and you're not supposed to get anybody to do anything else. You're supposed to stand down, because the scripture yesterday said how to prepare an altar, how to ask for forgiveness, how to plead with God. And instead what they did, they sent somebody in to curse me this morning. That's what they did. So You made your position clear. We are now at war. They're with you now. These energies are with you now. They don't want you to second guess where it's coming from. First of all, no practitioner can stop God's work. No practitioner can stop God's people. No one practitioner, no coven, no community, no secret society, nothing. Okay? And the more I keep telling you, people, stop touching stuff. And the more spiritual they are, the more they understand not to touch things. If they're truly a secret society, then they truly understand what is going on here with energies at play. We're supposed to stop touching things when God says no. Let me tell you, when I was going through my situation, the hardest thing to do was to not touch anything. I wanted to get in there and do something. God says, don't touch it. Leave it alone. This is not your fight. Leave it alone. So I want to talk to, I'm going to be jumping all over, but you guys got to stay with me here. I want to talk to the contract holders, the people who took spiritual contracts. So you're being held to your contract, whether you like it or not. When I say we are all of service to God, we are all of service to God, even when we're disobedient, even when we're under God's judgment, even when we're going to be punished. We are all under service to God in one way or the other. You decide what it feels like to be in service. It can feel amazing or it can feel horrendous. These contract workers or contract holders, spiritual contract holders, you are simply here to learn. Don't move and don't touch. This is one of your first lessons. Don't touch anything here. It's like being in a helicopter and you're just in the assistant pilot seat and there's a bunch of buttons in front of you and you're shaking because they're shooting at this helicopter from every direction. Don't touch anything because you'll put everything in jeopardy if you touch it. Don't touch nothing. You see, this time we're in right here, this is a spiritually testy time. Don't touch anything. Everything here, you are gonna learn. You're here to observe and to learn. The first thing you're gonna learn is when not to move. You're used to solving your own problems, but you're gonna learn not to touch anything. It's going to be very hard because you're gonna panic. You don't move until God says so. Let me give you an example. In this situation here, I wanted to move earlier, months before. They said, don't touch anything because you might have the right idea, but the wrong time. Things need to be in place before you act. Things need to be in place before you act. We are here acting because things are already in place. Don't think you could save this situation by stopping me. You're not stopping me. You're stopping God. Things need to be in place before anything occurs. Don't touch anything. You're going to learn obedience because you guys don't listen. You guys don't follow instructions. Holding this contract and not following instructions mean you might step on a bomb and blow your own self up because you didn't listen. Do you want to know what this job is like? Think about one of those movies and you're in a train track, okay? And it's the only way to get away from these people is you got to get into the train track and you hear the train coming and God says, step on this ledge. And you step on it and your back is against the wall and the train comes and there's like an inch between you and this moving train. And you're back against the wall in the track, okay? And it's an inch between you and the train. If you breathe the wrong way, it's gonna take you out. You're gonna be crushed in it. And you think it's gonna be 25 seconds, but it's like 3 minutes now that this train's still going. We're in 5 minutes, this train's still going. You can't breathe, you can't let your stomach out. And God's saying, hold on, we're almost done. And you're like, God, when? God, when? I'm going to pass out. Don't move an inch. Don't move. And at 9 minutes, finally, the train moves and you're ready to collapse. And you're exhausted. And you're like, oh my God. And God's like, hey, don't touch the wires there. So instead of collapsing, you got to catch yourself. And you catch yourself, and God's like, you got to climb up this thing now and go up the manhole and get to the street. And you're like, what? I'm exhausted. That's the only way. I'm tired. They're coming. Do you hear them? You got to climb up after holding your breath for like 9 minutes. You got to climb all the way up the manhole, pull yourself out. And when you get to the street, you got to shake yourself off like nothing didn't happen and walk casually down the street until you could get to safety. That is what this thing feels like. When you're told not to move, you're told not to move for a reason. When you move, you pay for that. And when you move, people have to reroute. They have to find a new alternative. That means the reward you were going to get for your obedience, you just forfeited that. Not because God wanted you to, but this was the plan, this was the path. Don't think where you're not being paid to think. You're being called to stand back and stand down. Be obedient. You have to learn obedience. Lack of obedience leads to loss of money, loss of opportunities, loss of people's lives, all kinds of things. So when they say don't touch anything, don't touch anything. Leave it alone. It doesn't matter what your reasons are. I cannot go in spirit with excuses because they cut me off while I'm talking and they say no excuses. No excuses. Leave it alone. You're going to learn how not to react in danger. Non-reaction is extremely important. It's the same as reaction, because when you react, it's exactly like what I just said. Every mission that you're going to go on is going to be dangerous. This isn't a one-time thing. You took the contract because you were supposed to take the contract because you can handle it. So now we're going to learn how to put it in play. Don't react to danger. This is exactly like spell work. You light the candle, you say the prayer, you go about your day. You don't go helping the candle to work, do you? Do you light a candle and then you go do more things? Because you cannot tell the energy how to do its job. If you tell energy how to do it, you're making your life difficult. You're making their job difficult. You only tell them the result. Let them do their thing. They might try 5 different ways, but they know the best way. Don't get involved. We put prayers up. We watch blessings fall down. We throw prayers up. We watch blessings fall down. That is all. You don't help. You don't get involved. You don't touch. That is all. If you feel afraid, say a prayer and then go take a nap or a walk. Don't touch anything when these energies get started. They have started. Don't touch anything. Do your work. Do something else. Occupy your hands. Do something else. Don't touch anything. Control yourself. That's your job. Control yourself. Don't get impatient. Don't panic. Don't ask when. You're operating out of fear and paranoia, and you're manifesting problems. When you visualize those problems, you need to relax. Anything you touch has a ripple effect. Anything you do has a ripple effect, and it's not going to be the one that you expect. It's going to be the manifestation of what you're avoiding, because this is your predominant vibration. You vibrating, they're going to kill me. Why don't you vibrate? I'm finally getting out of this shit. That's what you're supposed to be vibrating. You sent up a prayer for something. People like myself don't just show up without prayers. People like myself show up after people have prayed for something specific. I don't know what the prayer is, I just show up. Other people are like that as well. Even if they don't even know they're on an assignment, they just show up when they are needed. Don't touch anything. These contracts are like first responder contracts. You are going in where people run out. You're not here to block God's plan. Where people are running out in places that are dangerous, you come in. You come in to solve problems that other people have no way of resolving, that human beings cannot resolve on their own. Very difficult circumstances that bring people a lot of pain. When nobody else can do it, God sends people in. In order to do this job, you need strength to take on whatever it comes with, whatever comes your way as a result. Because once God says, you're not the one that has to come on live and make the announcement. You're not the messenger, so what the hell are you afraid of? Why are you panicking? You couldn't do anything. This is not your fight. If this was your fight, if you could do anything, if you could have gotten out of this on your own, you wouldn't have to still show up for work every day. I'm saying to you, stop showing up for work. You're going on strike. It's done. Stop showing up. God is serious. Somebody showed up this morning. Now look at where we are. The energy is tense once again where it was light. Stop showing up. Anytime you feel fear, it weakens your strategy. It weakens you as a man. It weakens you as a woman. It weakens you as a fighter, as a warrior. It weakens you because you start making decisions out of what ifs and not assessing situations for what they are very clearly. It makes your reasoning foggy. You start making mistakes. When you work out of doubt, when you work out of fear, you are not strong. You cannot be tactical. You cannot be strategic. You start making mistakes, running, shaking, and being jumpy. You must eliminate fear first. If you're afraid, don't do things in that energy. You will manifest defeat. Stop touching things because you are afraid. Let yourself relax. Don't watch lives. Don't come on the internet. Don't watch tarot. Stay out of it. The work is pre-done before they announce war. They know the concern. They will not announce that. If your fears were possible, I already met those killers face to face in different parts of this city. I already met them. I already met the henchmen. I already met them, which means my mother met them. Stop touching shit. If you guys stop. Let the situation unfold by itself. Let it develop by itself. Allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised. Is this how you expected it to end? Of course not. Let it continue to unfold. Take your hands out. This is not your fight. I'm telling you the way I was told. It's not your fight. It's not your fight. You're gonna say, but they're swinging at me. Yeah, you guys were swinging at me. It still wasn't my fight. Take your hands out. Do as you're told. Otherwise, you put yourself in a position where they're still gonna carry out the mission even if you don't listen and you're not obedient, and you will put yourself in jeopardy because things will happen. You don't want to learn through experience. You want to learn through words. I love when I see the example of somebody else so I can be shaken up and say, you know what, next time I'm not going to do something like that. I love that because if I have to learn by myself, it means I have to feel it. And believe me, they know how to make you feel it. They know how to make you feel it. They bring you to your knees while you're alive. These are, people always think about like dying. Death is not gonna touch you and take you out. That's not how you learn. They make you feel it. They can slow it down and then turn up the intensity. They can speed it up and turn up the intensity. They can do all kinds of things when we don't listen. If you're feeling panic, take the SIM card out of the phone so no one can call you and delete the email address, if that's what it takes. If you're nervous, don't come out the house. Go buy some groceries and sit in for a while and wait. If that's how you feel, what are you panicking about? You have to relax and let God do the work. This is not our fight. You think I'm gonna get on a plane and go fight someone? You think I'm gonna light candles? You think I'm gonna do any of that? It's not my fight. It's not my issue. I'm just here to give a message and stand in place. That's it. God wouldn't give me the message if my life were gonna be in jeopardy. Do you understand? That's how it works. But you guys don't have faith or trust. Which shocks me, for people who do spell work, you don't believe. You believe in these dark entities and you don't believe in God. You did all this work for these entities that put you guys in this position and you don't believe in God. And God is actively here giving everybody signs and symbols. It's time for the people in the city to be released. You guys are exhausted. I can see it. I can see it. People don't want to do this. They don't want to show up. They're tired. They're scared. They're getting judgment. They're losing everything. It's time to be done. No more hiding and in corners, secretive talk, and that. Who cares? No, it's done. The energies that are forcing your hand will be stopped. They're now in war with the Most High. So don't get involved in no war. Don't go defending them because you will be swept up in it. There's no negotiation. Once Father's here, there's no time. One more move, they're striking you down. Don't. So I make myself clear. I'm not gonna come back and say, hey, I told you guys. No, you're gonna feel it in real time. Right when that girl did what she did, right when they said we're at war now. We're at war now. They want everything gone. Did you hear that passage? Let me read it again. Let me read it again. You guys are on the computer, so tell me, where do I search Bible verses that say this? Do I Google? You've never seen me Google one Bible verse. It's said here, very specifically, Matthew 22, verse 7. And when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burnt up their city. And one thing God will always do is burn the whole city to the ground. God likes when it's flat, burnt to the ground, to the dirt. Nothing left. Nothing left. Ants can't be moving where you were building when God's done. Wants everything gone. Wants it destroyed completely. Even saying war is still giving an indication, or like it's giving an impression as if people can fight back. Fight back how? When God puts up an army, they'll put up one person that could take a whole coven down by themselves, effortlessly. So imagine when God gathers a group of people together. It is undefeatable. It's an undefeatable group. You want to be here, stand down. Because you are here, learn to control yourself, learn to be obedient, and stand down. Take your hands out of it. Everything will be taken care of. Once you get here, in these contracts, you don't worry about money anymore. You don't worry about food. You don't worry about transport. You don't worry about anything. It is all handled. Just stop asking questions. You gotta learn how to function without knowing. You gotta learn how to function without knowing how, without knowing when. When I get in the car, the only thing I say, Ma, I need something, show me where the sale is. And when I'm driving, you guys are over there saying, where is she going? You think I don't hear you? Where is she going? Because you don't know where to place it. I don't know where I'm going. I just know when I get there. My hands may be on the steering wheel, but it's not me driving. That's how it's gonna be. You don't need to know. You need to trust. It's gonna take a while to learn, but this is where you are now. Your situation is even worse than mine when I was told not to touch. So I'm saying don't touch. Don't do any spell work. You see the girl who came in and did the spell work, I don't know what side she's from. I don't care what side she's from. You see what happened from last night to this morning? You see what happened? Don't touch. Don't touch. Don't make a phone call. Don't answer any calls. Don't do anything. Stand still and just remove your hands. Nobody can pay you to cloak somebody else from God. Nobody can pay you to hide anybody from God. Nobody can hold you accountable for somebody else's actions that works for God. Nobody can say, well, she knows about me because of you. How? Look at the way, did you tell me? Did you tell me? Did you see what I saw to tell me? Did you show me his face? No. Leave it alone. People only like swinging everywhere else when they can't swing at the main target. Leave it alone. The signs are already with him. He already knows his situation. He already knows his situation. Toronto as a city, you guys need to stop. Stop following, stop looking, and I'm going to ask you guys again to stop walking with children and putting these children in these situations. Do not gang stalk with children. I told you once before. Tell them leave the children at home. Tell them leave the children at home. Stop involving the elderly. Don't make them get involved, because the same thing that's being done to you, you're doing it to other people. Stop following people, not just myself, in general. Put it down. Stop moving and just be patient with the situation. And I'm saying it gently, and that's not the way that it was given to me. It was not given to me as a gentle message. Just stop everything. Stop everything. Stop the candles, stop the prayers, stop the stop everything. Stop astral projecting. Stop. You're given warning. It's not, you don't have a week, you don't have an hour. Now. Yesterday, did I not say last night? I said now. Didn't I say? I read the time. I said 8:41 p.m. as of now. I wasn't joking. I am also not joking now. Now. Don't panic. Don't do anything, because you're panicking. You're going to manifest exactly what it is you're thinking in your head. So you got to stay away from it if you can't handle it. This is a pressurizing situation. Now, you have to learn how to manage yourself under these circumstances, because there's going to be a day you're going to wish. You're going to wish for this circumstance again. You're going to say, this was easy. That's what you're here for. There's going to be a day you're going to think to yourself, this was easy. I wish I could go back to this situation, because the situations are going to get worse. Everybody's here is because they have a unique skill set that is needed. Don't touch. We need you safe. Don't touch. God does not come in peace right now. It's not peace. God says remove your hand from the city. Just, you're going to have enough to deal with where you are. Remove your hand from the city. Leave these people alone. Don't bother these people anymore. Don't call these people for anything. Don't ask these people what they're doing. Nothing. Don't ask them any questions. Don't send anybody to go give any warnings. Don't come to them in dreams. Nothing. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Toronto, I'll give you the words I was given, because when I don't give the words, I get in trouble. Toronto is a curse to you. Remove your hand from this city. The signs are already with you. I'm going to read it again so I don't get the message again. Toronto is a curse to you. Remove your hand from this city. The signs are already with you. I like to read my notes now because this is how it was given to me. I don't want to make it any other way. Don't touch anything else in Toronto. Don't call anybody in Toronto. Don't harass nobody in Toronto. Leave the people in Toronto alone. They already don't have money. They're already sick. They're already facing problems. Let them work with God to rebuild their life. Don't touch Toronto anymore. One action is enough. One action is enough. That's it. It's done. We are behind time now. It's done. They're released. They did what they could. They cannot do anything more. They cannot touch anything anymore. People in Toronto should not be in communication with you because you are under God's judgment. You are now under God's judgment. Nobody should be touching you at all. People shouldn't be taking your calls. People shouldn't be taking your messages. People shouldn't be responding to you. You have what we call malédiction, a curse. You are cursed now. Don't involve innocent people in your curse. I said it about John, and I'm going to say it about you. Don't involve other people. Let everybody heal. Let everybody go their way. Nobody's going to work with you. Nobody can work with you. If people work with you, they enter into your circle. I don't know if you've seen John. John does not look like himself at all. He's been through it. He's been through a battle. Okay? He's been through a battle. Normal people don't face these kind of battles. He's paid off karmic debt while alive. Okay? He's paid his debt. It's done. It's done. You will not be touching him because God said so. Every day that I have to go back and John hasn't given his life yet, becomes a day that we keep assessing why. So you're the problem now. You're the last issue that I can assess. You are under judgment. You are under a curse. This will not be lifted by anything that you have. No one you have can do this for you. I told you, go to God and make peace. That is too late. The window is closed on that. Now they say they burn your city to the ground. Don't call anybody in Toronto about anything. They are done working. They cannot work anymore. They are paying with their life. It is over. It should have been over yesterday. Stop sending these spiritualists in here. These people know better, but they cannot say it. They know, they're shaking. They're nervous, they're scared. People should not be working under these conditions. This is not the way spiritual work is meant to work. People are supposed to be enacting judgment only with the permission of spirit guides, because it's the spirits that are supposed to do the work. When the spirits don't want to do the work and people have to come by themselves, they come unprotected. They come and they face, now you're sending people to attack God's people. Now we're skipping past the people and we're looking directly at you. So everybody that comes here and that does something is under God's wrath, and they're looking at who sent them. So I'm telling them not to touch, and I'm telling you, you gotta stop. You have to stop. It's gone too far. I don't know if you believe in spirits or not. You keep paying practitioners, so you must believe in something, but now you will believe in God. you will believe in God. Do you know what it is when God makes a prophet of you? Do you know what it is when God turns you into a prophet? Do you know what that feels like? That's not an easy journey to be turned into a prophet. That's such a difficult journey that when you're in that contract, you want to give it away. You think those people that took those contracts don't want to get those contracts off of them? You think they don't want to give it away? It looks so bright and shiny before you steal it. And when you get into it, you want out so bad. You don't want to wake up tomorrow. Every day you got to wake up again. It's like, leave it alone. Everybody stop touching, stop hurting, stop threatening, stop harassing. Nobody's going to touch anybody here. Nobody's going to hurt anybody here, because your hands are going to be so full of problems. They're not going to be. They're already full of problems. You already feel the problem. That's why I tell them in the city, why are they trying to save this? Why are they trying to save this? You've been taking your backfires. It's just getting worse. That's why you're pushing them, because you think if you actually got me, it would be better. It's only livable because you didn't. If God says that I am a messenger and I am the means by which people come to God in whatever capacity, just to praise God, just to know God is real, just to turn their life to God, just to work for God, in any capacity that people end up coming to God, why do you think that God is going to allow me to be taken in? Do you think that's not going to infuriate God? This is not what I'm here for. It's not to work, to do whatever it is that you do. I'm here to work for God. So, this is the message, loud and clear. God invited you to a wedding. You didn't show up, and now you're threatening to murder prophets. And this is the reason why now the situation is what it is. You got to remove your hand completely. Everybody, all of us, we remove our hand now because it's in God's hands. And they're very, very adamant about this action. They are very determined. It has already begun. It cannot be undone. It cannot be taken back. Because people in Toronto are going to walk free. No more threats on anybody's life. People are too many prayers are going up about the situation. People are weak and they're tired. I hope and pray that you guys don't disappoint me today. I hope and pray you guys don't think you have something to prove. I hope and pray you guys understand. I hope and I pray that I'm not disappointed today. Please, we don't need another round of this. Leave it alone. John, do you hear me? Leave it. Control. Hold yourself. Hold yourself. Hold yourself. When you feel panic, when you feel like you got to do something, nothing you've done has worked. There's nothing you can do. It's not your fight. Leave it to God. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Anybody's anything. No computers, no phones. Just don't touch anything and go and pray. I'm not gonna go and pray about it. God answers prayers. Go and pray about it. One of the things that I am here for, and it's not just me, it's all of us together. We are here to make God cool again. I'm not street savvy. I don't know how you guys say it. I say make God cool again. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know when Donald Trump said, make America great again? Make God cool again. Make people want to be spiritual. Sometimes in order to do that, you got to go to the right place. You got to start in the right place. You don't start with the people who are already goody two-shoes like myself. You got to start with people that live a certain lifestyle. You got to start there. And you got to strengthen those people in God. You got to strengthen those people so the little kids say, I'm a spiritual warrior. I'm a spiritual gangster. That's what we're here for. We're here so people start rapping about God again. We're here so the prayers are so strong, they call you a witch. The prayers are so strong, they say you're a demon. The prayers are so strong that nothing can touch you. That's what we're here to prove. That's the point. That prayers work. So that the next time you tell somebody, pray about it, they say, you know what, damn it, you're right. I should have done that. So that people see prayer work right away. Because we pray to the correct things. Jesus is an archangel. Jesus is not God. We go direct to God. We go direct. The Holy Spirit is our mother. We go direct. She walks with us in any place. Any place. They know in certain places. That's why even the gang members, the killers walk. They pray to my mother. The first message I ever had to this guy, I said, I was channeling. It was my mother speaking through me, and she said, haven't I been good to you? Haven't I been good to you? Haven't I been good to you? Yesterday's message, it came back to me again because God said in that verse, it said, you who I have favored amongst men, and you've hearkened not my words. I favored you amongst men and rented the kingdom to you. Not give it to you, rented it. And you caused my people to sin and to turn against me and to serve false gods. So you know them. It's not like you don't know, you know them. You know they're speaking directly to you. You know them. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what's going on. You're deflecting accountability that by blaming people to do spell work and blaming people to gang stalk, but you know, and you're avoiding the message and you're hiding behind people. No more hiding behind any practitioners. No more hiding behind anybody. Strip the veil off of you. Strip the mask off of you. You're in the center of the circle now. No hiding. No hiding. You have to meet yourself. Everywhere you go, you're going to meet yourself. The way you behave with people, the way you treat people, the things you do to people, you're going to meet yourself. You're going to meet those kinds of energies that are like you. They're going to be you to you. They're going to do a you to you. And it's going to bring people in God. It's going to bring people to God. Your public downfall will bring people to God because they will see that God is real. They will know that my God is real. That's what we're here for. That's the cycle that we have to go through. That's why things take so long. Because there's a lesson in everything and everybody is of service in their own way. If you could have shown some compassion, if you could have relented when you were told, you would have been in service in the capacity that you would have shown people forgiveness and letting things go. That's the example you would have been. It's unfortunate it must go this way. It's unfortunate it must go this way. It's going to be a ripple effect. Nobody's asking you to let anything go. You could do whatever you want now because you will have a lot on your plate. A lot on your plate. They will not let one thing through for you. Not one little Hail Mary. Nothing. Nothing. You see the way you don't let me get one like on my social media? Not one thing. Every time you see whatever I go through today, I will take this as your position. I will take whatever these practitioners, these hackers, and all these people do as your position. This is the position. This is the answer to what we've said today. This is what they've done. So they're saying they don't care. Cool. We will move forward in that energy. Yesterday was very serious. Don't touch anything. Today it goes from we come in peace to now we're at war. So they're gonna burn it down. That's not a warning. They're already there. They're already there in your business, playing in your things. You see how you have John playing in my things? They're playing in your things. They're playing in your things. Anyway, so this is the message of the day. Okay, guys, honestly, I don't know what you guys are thinking because you guys know about spirituality. You know enough about the spirit world to know not to touch anything. Just leave things alone now. It's broken. It's broken. You guys don't understand. Ask the Haitians what it means. You guys understand. What are you talking about? You understand. Okay? The energy of death is everywhere. She is with you. She is all around you. Okay? Leave it alone. Don't get involved. Don't get swept up. Don't touch anything. I'm not joking with you at all. I'm not joking with you at all. And I mean it. Leave it alone. If you live in Toronto, just don't take any more phone calls. Don't show. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what they tell you. Trust me, you don't want this energy to open in your life because the people who force you, the people who threaten you, they can't do anything to save you once you get swept into this. The people who are attached to you will get swept into it too. You will come in and all your soul contracts will come behind it. Anybody who concerns you will be swept into it too. So you gotta leave it alone. You got children, don't get involved. Don't come out of your house. Don't come out of your house. Stay home. Don't look out your window. Don't touch anything. If you're too scared, this shouldn't have been for you in the first place because you see what's going on here. Don't come back in my house. Don't come back on my computer. Don't come back on my device. Do you see the final closing screen of all my promotional marketing? You know very well who and what that is. That means that this is for her. When I first got into this business, how did I end up with all my followers being your people? Because I was being put in place strategically. When you see me doing my work, don't interfere and put your people in my directory. You will continue a chain of tragedy. Let me go where my mother puts me to go. Do not get involved in their work. That is all that I can say to you guys. You guys don't listen. It's past the point. We are end of August. There's been no progress and no movement because you don't listen. We are 1 month now delayed from the progress we need. It will be handled. His hand will be removed from the situation, or it will be removed entirely. That is what God is saying. But every time you guys want to put yourself in the line of fire, you're trying to, it's like you're begging the bomb to drop on you. Don't be a sacrifice. Just let it go and control yourself. Let peace come in the way it's supposed to come. Don't go fighting this. Please let it be. We already know who the people are in Toronto that they will call. We've already met them. I've already seen them. The same way I see you on the street and I know who you are. So let it be. Let it be. And take the SIM card out of the phone if you don't want the call. Don't answer anything. Let it be.